Today we have an interesting topic, that is how to self-heal. So this is Adnan. Welcome to Ambel's training webinar. In fact, we had run a series of webinars earlier on the same subject. And since the subject is so deep and need many more sessions to cover it fully, I feel I would talk about it again and let it go as a reminder to one and all who are listening to this webinar. How to self-heal is one of the topics which most of our members and even AFP fans had asked for it. In this webinar, I will be talking a little bit about energy healing, quantum healing, and AFT quantum healing before I jump into the core subject, which is how to self-heal. To start with, I have a wonderful quote from Thomas Alva Edison, a great American inventor, I should say. He has invented this mass communication devices and even the motion pictures. He had said once, "The doctor of the future will give no medicine, but will instruct his patients in care of the human frame and in diet and in the cause and prevention of diseases." 100% true. In fact, Thomas Edison, the great visionary, I think he was born in the 1840s or something and died also in 1900, in the first quarter of 1900. The future people, what he is telling, will be more depending on alternative and complementary healing, or energy healing, or some nutritional supplements rather than taking medicines. Today, I'm going to talk about how to self-heal. Before that, I would like to bring about a small disclaimer that the information contained in this presentation has not been evaluated by FDA. This information is not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease. All information provided is for educational purposes only, and always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified healthcare providers with any questions you have regarding a medical condition and before undertaking any diet, exercise, or other health programs. With that said and done, let me come to the first topic, which is energy healing. This energy healing is a method of healing that manipulates the subtle energy systems of the body or the vital body with the goal of ensuring the mental, physical, and spiritual well-being of a person. We all know that we live in a world now where we can tap lots of different kinds of energy healing modalities to heal ourselves and others. You can choose or you can naturally and holistically care for your physical body by employing any of the various energy healing modalities available today. And this energy healing is basically enhancing the flow of energy in the body and corrects if any disturbances in the human energy field or our biofield. Some of these methods have been used by ancient healers and civilizations. If you check the history, you can find that how these ancient people used to perform energy healing. That may be the reason Thomas Alva Edison said that the doctors of the future will not be relying more onto the medicines, rather than they will go more onto the holistic or alternative, even non-invasive healing approaches. So when we talk about energy healing, there are many different modalities available today, like quantum touch, EFT, Reiki, pranic healing, even emotion code, etc., etc. There are many holistic healing or energy healing modalities available. Now, some people who don't have noticeable effect, or like for example pain or discomfort, if they don't have something which is that much noticeable, they won't feel the difference immediately or on their physical level, because the energy healing affects, or it takes place onto their vital body or subtle body. Okay, and if at all, if some people feel the difference immediately on their physical body, it is you can say it's just a ripple effect from the healing which happens on the subtle body. Right now, energy is the underlying infrastructure of the body, The body does not create the energy system. It is the energy system that creates the body. I repeat again, the body does not create the energy system, and it is the energy system that creates the body. So the energy field is an intelligent system that regulates health and healing. The health of the energy system is mirrored in the health of the mind, body, and spirit. So we all know that the human body possesses an enormous and an astonishing and a persistent capacity to heal by itself, right or wrong? And the disease generally occurs when we abuse our bodies or deprive them of some basic requirements to keep us healthy over a period of time, right? So in fact, our physical body is just a holographic projection of our energy system or a mirror image. So whatever happens on our energy field has a mirror effect on our physical system. It's very difficult to judge how all of a sudden a person is declared a sick person, as a sick person, having so-and-so disease and this and that, as there is something, a cumulative damaging effect on his energy body or subtle body has already been taken place, even knowingly or unknowingly for a long period. So that is where the study of quantum medicine and the quantum mechanics leads us to. So we all know that the most fundamental unit of the human body is cells. All human cells originally begins as one single cell, which then divides into many more cells until a baby is born, after 9 months of cell division inside mother's uterus. So by the time he grows as an adult, his body will have approximately 100 trillion cells. So every second that we are alive, the cells in our bodies are working endlessly to bring us back to the natural state of homeostasis or equilibrium. So when we turn to medicines or any physical manipulations of our body system to heal us, we are really only facilitating our body's natural ability to heal from within. All right. So each and every cell is a dynamic living unit that is constantly monitoring and adjusting its own processes and restoring itself, according to the original DNA coding, or you can say the blueprint it was created with, and to maintain the balance within our body. So cells have the ability to heal themselves as well as to make new cells and replace those, those who are already damaged or mutated. So even a large number of cells are destroyed during the course of our life due to many reasons. So the surrounding cells immediately will replicate to make new cells and thereby quickly replacing the cells which are already been destroyed. So we all know that our body has a self-healing mechanism. For example, when we get some bleeding, injury or something which occurs anywhere in our bodies, our blood vessels at the site will contract and slow the bleeding process. Then the blood platelets, with the help of air, and it will start forming blood clot where the injury has located, correct? So then the white blood cells accumulate at the spot and destroy and digesting the dead cell. This is what exactly happening. This way, the dead cells or the debris of the cells is removed and new space is made for a new cells to occupy. So what I mean to say is that our body has a self-healing mechanism already by default. So this healing mechanism or this healing process is not just for injuries alone. It also takes place, sometime like for the everyday wear and tear happening, the damages happening, sometimes the destroyed or dead cells from our skin and mouth and intestine and blood and all these. This process is it's on and on. Now we will talk about the second topic, that is the quantum healing. Quantum healing is the healing the body and mind from a quantum level. A level which is not manifest at the sensory level. Okay, sometimes you won't feel it with all your five senses. So quantum healing involves a shift in the field of energy information so as to bring about a correction in an idea that has gone wrong. Here, the intention of the observer changes and creates the outcome of how quantum behaves. At subatomic level, when we observe something, we change its outcome. You know, in the Newtonian, in the old science, or we can say the materialistic science or deterministic science, that everything is matter or everything is objects or particles. Whereas now it's proved wrong. Everything is not matter or objects unless and until someone observes it. Till then, it is just a probability. You know, so everything is depending on the observer. The outcome, the results depends on the observer's intention. This is what exactly as per the quantum physics. So the quantum physics says or proves that our world is not just based on space and time, but based on the consciousness. The disease and illness are just our experiences or feelings. How we can have science of healing if we don't have the experience of illness, correct? So here, these extraordinary forms of quantum healing are related to understanding of quantum physics and of consciousness. Just as quantum physics aims to describe physical phenomena normally hidden at a subatomic level, so quantum healing is directed to healing the body and mind from a deep, unmanifest level of consciousness. So the mind and the body are expressions of this profound consciousness known as quantum mechanical body, according to Dr. Deepak Chopra. Now, we can go to the third topic, which is one of our core topics, that is AFT quantum healing. AFT quantum healing refers to the quantum healing leveraging on energized products without the interferences or manipulations of any individual. Just like using the light to conduct light therapy or the music to conduct sound therapies, AFT quantum healing uses specialized AFT energized products that resonate at 0 point field. It's just the uniqueness of. So here we are not using our own energy or something like that. We are just channeling the energy by using or by leveraging onto the technology, which is AFT MI's fusion technology and the energized products. Now, if you see whatever the diseases or illnesses, what we see in this world, this is a graph showing the percentage of those diseases. You know, more and more people are getting wise now to the fact that many diseases are avoidable and preventing them is within their control. So whether it's the common cold or even something more such as heart disease or cancer, we have to work at keeping those illnesses away. But the issue here with the people are, you know, they are creating a sort of identity of such diseases. When somebody is diagnosed with diabetes or any sort of rheumatic condition or whatever it is, they will keep on telling, oh, okay, I am diabetic, I am having stroke, I am having this, you know. They repeat and they create their own identity for the disease. So it will be very difficult for the disease to go away. So here, be aware of our medical condition. There's no harm in it. But it's better we should not create an identity. The people, they create an identity. That is the problem normally happens. And now going to some details and some techniques of how to self-heal, let us start with our breathing itself. You know, according to the experts, most people breathe at 10 to 20% of their capacity. That's all. Okay, even less than their 10%, the people in the world are now aware of the proper breathing protocol. You know, even in the conscious state, we don't breathe properly. Whereas when we are at sleep, normally during the sleep, we breathe better. Because when we sleep, the full control of the body is taken over by our subconscious mind. And our subconscious mind knows the homeostasis or what the body demands, and accordingly our breathing pattern will be little difficult to you if you notice whenever we are sleeping. That is the reason when you can find the people, they don't snore when they are awake, they snore when they are sleeping, because during sleep sometimes certain body is demanding more oxygen, myocardial oxygen demand and all these. So automatically, when the body is trying to take more oxygen, and in certain your position, the sleeping position, or some people, they have certain physical disorders, you can say, like sleep apnea and all, they will have the breathing difficulty, which eventually affect on their sleeping patterns and other things. Correct. So the breathing is very important as far as our blood is concerned, because the blood has to carry a certain amount of oxygen. Otherwise, it is going to affect our heart, it is going to affect our memory, it is going to affect the health of the blood, and it will increase the thickness of the blood and the viscosity of the blood and all this. So breathing is something which is very, very vital. And majority of the people, they don't breathe properly. You won't see, I remember when my kid was crying, very infant stage. My kid was crying a lot in the morning. Always when the kids are crying, we say, oh my God, we feel like we should stop the cry. Always, all the mothers, they do that. Immediately they take the kid and try to, pacify or whatever it is. But my mother always says, no, leave the kid, let him cry. When he cries, his lungs will expand. The vital capacity of the lungs will expand. So here you can find some people where their vital capacity, when I do the wellness screening and all, when I find the vital capacity is so poor, I tell them that you were not a crying child, when you were in the infant stage. Okay, so it is very important, and you can find whenever we have any medical issues as such, and we like a cough or asthmatic attack or any sort of epilepsy or anything which creates breathlessness or something like that, immediately the doctors, they will check the oxygen level in the body, because the oxygen level has to be perfect. Otherwise, even it can create a lot of major long-term heart diseases like cardiomyopathy and all problems, the diseases whereby the heart valves are getting loose, and the pumping ratio of the blood is not proper, and it's a life-threatening disease. And these are all caused by breathing. Why I am alerting, warning, because breathing is something very important for our body, for our healthy life, and it helps a lot for self-healing and other things. Correct. Even you can find in yoga and all, yoga positioning, the stances, different this thing and all, these are nothing if you don't do the breathing. Breathing is the main thing. Okay. And always when people, they don't get the proper amount of breathe, there are chances that they may go into cyanosis, the bluish color and all these, and which can very badly affect onto our other parts of the body. Correct. So breathing is something very important. Now, when you do the breathing, of course, everybody is breathing. Without breathing, nobody can live. But I tell you, the breathing is not the simple breathing. It's like a mindful breathing or a conscious breathing, I should tell you. When you breathe, you should know that consciously you should breathe, so that you fill up your full lungs by using the full lung capacity or the total lung capacity. You have to breathe. Okay. Now, when we talk about the breathing, here you can find that, of course, in the breathing process, we inhale and we exhale. But when we do a proper kind of breathing, which is more effective, what we have found is, like, you breathe in, for example, 2 seconds, then you should breathe out double, which is 4 seconds. Okay, when you inhale, like for example, inhale, you inhale from the nose, and when you exhale from mouth. When you exhale more time, so that the carbon dioxide or whatever which is there in your lung, let it completely, even the last drop of it, let it go out. So you see, the 70% of the toxins are released simply by breathing properly. If you are not breathing properly, the toxins will not get released. This is what is happening. And it will release the tension. And sometimes, when you are afraid or stressed or nervous, you can find that your breathing pattern is going shallow and it's not properly. Where when you are stressed, you can always find out that you get breathlessness. Okay, so this sort of breathing will help a lot to feel relaxed or whatever. So it relieves emotional distress, and it clears out negative or confused feelings with a deep breath. Whenever you feel that, even when you listen to some sort of bad news or shocking news or with the negative kind of thing, and you feel that you are getting stressed out or something, don't stand. Just sit down and take a deep breath from your nose and breathe out from your mouth. Automatically it will cool down. Some people, they won't be able to withstand a certain sort of emotional trauma and all these. So there are huge chances that the body they may get coma or a stroke or whatever it is. So breathing is one of the simple remedy or a simple emergency medicine, I can say, what you need to do, this sort of breathing. Okay, now it eases sometimes the pain, and you have to deep breathe it and hold the breath, for some second, then slowly release the breathing or exhale. Now this breathing improves your blood. The deep breathing releases carbon dioxide and increases the oxygen supply in your blood, and it improves the blood quality. And it improves the memory, okay, and it elevates your mood. So there are so many things which we talk only about breathing. We can have one full webinar conducted for that. Now, I can suggest one more breathing technique. Like if you really feel you wanted to get a mindful breathing or whatever, you can stand tall and keep your hands high. When you are taking your hands high, take the deep breath in. And when you are breathing in, you can push your stomach out. When you take the deep breath in, then slowly bend forward and breathe out till the last drop of the air goes out from your lungs. Okay, like this again. Keep your hand high. Then while keeping your hand high, you're taking your hand high, breathe in, then slowly bend your body and breathe out. And even in the whole process, you can tell, okay, when you're breathing in the cosmic energy, and when you're breathing out, like let go, you can have a feeling like let go the negative, let go the illness. So when breathing in, let the wellness come, and when you breathe out, let go the illness. So this sort of breathing, this will have a double effect because we are programming the body. It is not just the exercise for the lung alone. It is an exercise and programming of the body as a whole. Now the second very important factor for the self-heal, to allow the body to heal by itself, is drinking a lot of alkaline water. I don't have to talk more about the alkaline water because most of you know very well that our body, the chances of getting into an acidic pH balance is so high. Nowadays majority of the clinics, they are having a special treatment called the pH balancing treatment. What they are doing, nothing, they are just boiling, maybe 30-35 degrees Celsius the alkaline water and feeding the patients or clients. And that is the way. There is nothing, no hardcore rocket science or nothing like that. Because our body, whatever we eat, especially the sugary items, especially the meat and everything what we eat, all those are acidic. And our body has a capacity. I'm not telling you our body cannot convert to our food to the alkaline. Our body has a capacity, but that capacity is very much limited. So whenever we eat a lot of sugary and all these stuff, the acidity of our body, the internal pH of the body is going too low, so that there are so many unwanted and dangerous diseases like colon cancer and this and that. It can grow very fast in an acidic environment. So drinking a lot of alkaline water will help our body to maintain the internal pH so that we are always healthy. we are always healthy. And this alkaline water, especially when you choose for Amwater Actify, we all know this has a healing property as well. It's not like normal any other alkaline water. They just claim that they are antioxidant, the microclustering property, it is so thin, and other alkaline feature and all. But our Amwater Actify has a very unique frequency where the water is already been, the minerals and all which are contained in it have already been amplified multifold. The vibration of the water is so high, it's a healing vibration. That's why the many countries, they use our water as a healing water. And when you consume Amwater Actify, it helps a lot to improve our personal vibration, to improve our body vibration to a certain level that our body is always having enough amount of energy, so that which will protect us from any sort of diseases or airborne contaminant diseases and this and that. It will always protect. Right. So now the third point, if you wanted to self-heal, these are a very simple point, the diet and supplements. When you talk about the diet and the supplement, diet rich in vegetables and fruits and low in animal fats is the best. Lean sources of protein such as beans, rich in nutrients like nuts, fiber-rich seeds, also very good. A complementary dietary supplement is advisable according to the needs and the deficiencies. The homeopathy says a person whose bowel movements are proper and the sleep is proper, then he is almost okay. Means our bowel movements normally are controlled by the amount of fiber intake. Because we don't take a good amount of fiber in our body. There are soluble and insoluble fiber. So an average adult should have or should consume approximately like 20 to 30 grams of fiber rich food every day, so that it will work like as a janitor, as a cleaning agent for our colons and bowel movements, and all these things will be proper. So include a lot of fiber rich food and supplement. It's very essential for our body to be in a position to self heal and the detoxify, because most of the times our problems are either we are deficient of certain minerals and vitamins and fibers and all these, or we have the problem of too much of toxin in your body. Okay, toxin is another element. Toxin will be already cleansed by when you take enough amount of fiber. So the diet should be in such a way that you are getting enough amount of minerals and vitamins and whatever amino acid and proteins and this and that. And at the same time, the fiber is also side by side, you have to take in enough quantity, so that the detoxification also happens in a very perfect way. Correct. Now we will talk about the fourth point, which is sleep. The body is endlessly working to repair and regenerate itself. This happens to a great extent when we are sleeping. When our body's energy is only minimally being used to sustain autonomic nervous system function, that is involuntary function such as heartbeat and all, and most of it can be directed towards restorative and healing processes. And of course, during sleep, our eyes are closed, and it will allow us to our brain to save lots of energy, that the brain doesn't have to process all the frames which is coming from our eyes. So during the sleep, our eyes are closed, so the brain will also be much free. The brain will be able to save a lot of energy, and this energy will be used by our pineal gland as a governing system, or as a bioclock management system, to allow repair all and each and every systems and endocrine system, skeletal system, different systems we have, almost 11 to 14 systems we have in our body. It will be one by one repair happens only when you sleep. So this is very important. So sleep is very important for a healthy living and self-healing. When you sleep, our subconscious mind is taking charge, and our autonomic and the nervous system is activated, and it starts complete working on the whole body. Even during a proper sleep, you can find your breath is somewhat okay. During sleep, you can always, but not like in the normal time. Now the fifth point is exercise. This is also one of the major point which we need to consider. At least 10,000 steps a day or some sort of movements. If you just keep our body idle, it will only be asking for trouble, many kind of trouble, including obesity and diabetes and many problems. So exercise is very important for our body. It reduces our body fat, it increases lifespan, and it oxygenates our body, strengthens our muscles, maintains the mobility. So, and it strengthens our bones, and even detoxify happens when you sweat and all these. Plus, you do a lot of physical exercises, including aerobics and all these stuff, a sort of autophagy. That was my last topic, the autophagy, which helps a lot in the cell regeneration and cell rejuvenation. That also happens when you do a lot of physical exercise and all, and it gives a lot of calm to the mind also, and you will feel always fresh. It will reduce all the risk of blood cancer, it will lower the blood pressure, and it will improve our immune system and all these. Another thing, when you do the exercise, when you contract and extend your muscles, it creates a sort of electricity in the body. That electricity itself, when it goes to the cellular portion of the body, the cells will be able to communicate properly with the brain and demand the brain that, okay, we need this much of calorie, this much of energy. So a sort of quantum biofeedback happens when you do a lot of exercises. So exercise is another very important area where we need to consider. Now the sixth point, which is my favorite point, that is arm bonding. The arm bonding, we all know it helps right from pain relief to energy healing, chakra balancing, stress relief, and it is used as an energizer. So what happens for the normal pace, if a person has a daily routine, what he needs to do, especially in the morning and the evening, after his morning walk and all this, after getting ready, freshed up, after taking shower, just either sit down or stand and close your eyes and preferably remove your slippers or shoes. Okay, drink little bit water before the arm bonding session. So you can do a sort of cleansing and a sort of energizing your body. Okay, so first thing, it cleanses the chakra. Sometimes we absorb lots of negative energy. You don't know, in the office and in the back home and all, how many people you are meeting. Sometimes certain people, they are bubbling with negative energies and negative vibes. Our body, as I told you, it's like 80% water, and water has the property that it can store anything and everything. Even if you keep a water even little bit far away from you also, whatever the frustration you have in your mind, or you are throwing out from your mouth or whatever it is, the water can always record. If water has that property, that means your body is 80% water. So the body can be like a blank CD, and always the information, the vibration, or the negative, whatever it is, that there will be a tendency that will go and embed onto your vital body, since your body is totally, full amount of water. So we will be having always lots of negative vibes and things like that. So it is very imperative, it is very necessary. For that, you need to do the cleansing energetically. And arm bonding is helping for that. So when people talking, sometimes you can find, when people are talking negative about you, these are basically coming to you as a frequency or a resonance in your energy field or your vital body. And even they are very far from you also. Sometimes it directly goes to your subconscious mind without your knowledge. And if your energy is much more powerful, sometimes these frequencies from your subconscious mind will web a sort of dream, and you can see those in your dreams. Have you ever noticed it? Sometimes you can find we get the dream like when people are thinking about other people or talking about other people. Now for some people whose chakra or the energy is much weaker, these frequencies, which is already stored in your subconscious mind, these frequencies will slowly be filtered down from your subconscious mind to your conscious mind, and this may give some people some sort of the skin irritation and all this. You can find the itching nose when somebody is talking, about you, or itching our palms. We most of the people, they are happy about it because there is some financial or prosperity coming as such. So these are the things which normally happens in our subconscious level and in the energetic field. Okay, so in the wanting, I will just go very fast on the wanting side. That is the main thing. We have 8-point wanting, which is starting from our provocation, which is our crown chakra. Okay, just tap it 4, 5, 6 times. Keep your eyes closed. Concentrate on breathing. Take a deep breath from your nose. Breathe out from your mouth. Okay, if possible, apply a little therapeutic oil at your T1 junction, at the back of your neck. Then provocation number 1. Then wanting, a clockwise movement. A clockwise movement. Don't be hurry. Simply, gently, clockwise movement over your crown chakra. Okay, it improves even cognitive clarity. You will get focus, and so many things are working with, because each and every area of the chakras are directly connected with our endocrine system, directly connected with our different organs altogether. So that is the reason it helps a lot in many ways, not just physically, but even mentally, physically, and emotionally. So after that crown chakra, you can move on to the pituitary or the third eye. Then you can move on to your throat chakra, where the metabolism helps a lot of metabolic activities. And some people, the thyroid gland is very important. And some people, if the thyroid or parathyroid gland is weak, it even can cause a lot of gastrointestinal disorders and even hormonal issues and blood pressure controlling, so many things, the throat chakra can. So move on to the throat chakra. Then move on to the heart chakra, which is the thymus gland, which is responsible for the immunity power, the relationship, the grounding, the rooting, and all these, the personality, all these stuff you can find always on the thymus chakra. So you bond on the thymus chakra. Then go down to the solar plexus, which is, you can find all the pancreas and major organs are there. So there also you need to give much more energy. Then move down to the sacral chakra, where the whole body is connected with the 70,000 nadis or the nerves. There also you need to activate. If possible, you can even do a little bit of acupressure also. Then go to the root chakra. Again, our survival, our whatever the phobia we have, all these things will be cleansed by wanting on the root chakra, which is our sex gland. Right. Then after that, you can go back to your T1 junction, where you have already applied the oil. So these are the basic steps of bonding. If you do that every day, then imagine your energy level is number 1, fully clean and balanced, and you are every day, it's like a new day with the bursting energy. You can start the day. Correct. Now, one more point which I need to discuss is meditation. Meditation, introspection, like whatever, sometimes people, they have different kind of trapped emotions. And so you need to sort of look into yourself. And this is possible when you are in a meditative state, and look into yourself and feel yourself. And sometimes you need to give a lot of positive affirmations, like even when you are walking, even when you are doing the exercise also, you can do the little bit of affirmations, like for example, every day and every way I am feeling better and better. Every day and every way I am feeling stronger and stronger. Every day and every way I am feeling healthier and healthier. Every day and every way I am feeling positive and positive. So these are the basic affirmations. You can note it down, and you can always, whenever you are free, you know, when you do the repetition, it is just like a programming. There is a saying, till the age of 7, our body, the children, they can always absorb, they can always, it's being programmed in the child. That's why always we have to be very careful while bringing up the children. till the age of 7, the parents have to be very careful, because those stages are the stages where we are molding the children mentally and physically and everything. But after that, we are being little bit protected, or we are being little bit, we won't be able to absorb much. It won't be easy. So only the thing, if you wanted to bring it to your daily practice, if you wanted to make it as your habit, only the thing, you have to repeat. That's all. Just keep repeating. Just keep repeating. That's why you have to talk to yourself, and you have to repeat yourself every day and everywhere. I'm feeling happier and happier. Like that, you have to repeat yourself. This also gives a lot of pleasantness, a suppleness. You can see a person who is taking positive affirmations every day. When you look at his face, you can see the suppleness, the cheerfulness on his face. That's all the major points I just wanted to discuss with you today. I just wanted to point out something, since I was talking about Wand and energy. Everything is energy, and sometimes we are taking it for granted. We have our body, which is only one time property we are getting. We cannot replace our body. You can replace your house, you can replace your car, you can replace whatever it is, but body you have only one. And if you are not taking care of the body, you are doing injustice. Your body is not asking for wealth, your body is not asking for your money, your body is not asking for your fame. Body is just asking for energy. So if we don't give the energy, we are doing injustice to our body. And there's a saying in the holy book, like our body is the temple of Holy Spirit. So it is a one-time property, a valuable property. We have to live with it the whole life. So we have to give maximum amount of energy, and let the body also, it's not just you or your consciousness, let your body also enjoy the energy. So instead of saying like I am damaged or I am broken, say always like I am healing, I am discovering myself, I'm starting over. This should be coming from your mouth. So be well and think well, do well and live well. May the energy be with you. Thank you for listening to me.